Mario, Small Fire Mario, and Big Fire Mario. So getting ready to go, and we will get them synced up once they are underway. Obviously, YouTube Man, as you can see, taking off into 1-1, and looks like he'll be powering up at minimum in 1-2, or maybe 1-3, 1-4. Who knows? But definitely does not power up in 1-1. Same with JT. YouTube Man completes in a 370, and JT gets the 380 in 1-1.
Now, as somebody with a better time than me, jtknott, at what point do you start powering up at 1-1 and lose powering up at 1-1 and 1-2 and go for the faster 1-3, 1-4?
It really just depends on what you're comfortable with. I think, I conceivably could, for my own race, power up in 1-1 and 1-2, but it really just depends on what you're comfortable with. I'm actually going to power up 1-3, 1-4. I think these two are very comfortable with playing fast 1-2. Hopefully we get no deaths here, and they are dead synced through 1-2. They both also go for the pipe jumps and nail them, so risky 1-2s for both. Very nicely done, and they will both have a perfect 1-2.
All right, great start from both guys so far. Perfectly in sync. Just the kind of race we like to see early on.
Absolutely. So they will be heading in 1-3. I'm going to guess both are going for Small Fire Mario, but I'm not positive. So this will be where we tell. Actually, 1-4 will be where we tell, because they're going to grab power-ups here. They take a little bit different strategy. YouTube Man goes over the coin block. JT goes under the coin block, which is faster if you grab the mushroom immediately, and he did. So he is going to get a 257, YouTube Man a 255. So jtknott is ahead by 2 frame rules, or about 0.7 seconds going into 1-4.
All right, and coming into 1-4, our first castle, very straightforward, run forward, both of our guys. Oh, JT is going for Small Fire, it looks like, and YouTube Man already took a hit, has to re-grab the power-up. Let's see if he compensates by going for Small Fire. JT coming in, and perfect. So, jtknott, would you like to talk about Small Fire a little bit before we get into 2-2?
Oh, and YouTube Man. Yeah, so Small Fire Mario is essentially a glitched state in the game. Normally, you grab the mushroom and Mario turns big, and then you grab the fire flower and Mario is big fire. But if you touch the axe at the end of a castle level at the same time as you take a hit from Bowser, the game recognizes that you took a hit and lost your power-up, as we see JT take a hit there. So both of these runners with some early issues, but we'll see how they shake out relative to each other. Thankfully, there are extra power-ups in 2-1. So YouTube Man is going to shake out into the lead here as JT has to grab extra power-ups. But yeah, the game recognizes that you got hit, and so it takes away your power-up, but it didn't have time to apply the sprite change from big to small. So you are big with small properties, and then you grab the mushroom, and it turns you small with big properties, and then you grab the fire flower, and you're in this glitched small fire state. And it has the ability, you're still in a small hitbox, but you also have the ability to use fire, so you get the advantage of both fire and the smaller hitbox in this speedrun.
All right, so coming up on 2-2, our first swim of the race. I didn't see it. I don't think YouTube Man went for crouch swim, if you want to explain that technique a little bit.
Yeah, so crouch swim is essentially just you duck on the ground of a water level, and as you swim at the same time, and that turns your big hitbox into a small hitbox. So, for Small Fire Mario, it doesn't really matter, but for Big Fire Mario, basically the top half of his hitbox gets cut off, and he has the equivalent of what's the small hitbox Mario on the bottom half of his body. So you can you'll see Mario's head swim through some fish sometimes because he has only the small hitbox. So kind of another, it's not exactly a glitched state, but it's just kind of the way the game was programmed.
All right, so coming up to 2-3, our first look at running through the cheats. Definitely a lot easier with Small Fire. This makes the strategy a lot better. In a race setting, a little bit easier to manipulate. And YouTube Man coming through, looks like perfect on a 240. JT not too far behind.
Not too far behind at all, and yeah, this is a very close race. So, we've seen each runner need to grab extra power-ups just because of taking some damage in different places, but that shakes them out really close to each other. And Now they're going into 2-4. 2-4 is one of the castle levels that will see the layout twice, but 5-4 will have a similar layout to 2-4, identical layout, but it'll just have more things you need to dodge, more potaboos, more fire bars, etc. So both runners getting through 2-4 very nicely, and now we head into World 3.
So World 3 is definitely where the difficulty starts to ramp up. You're going to see a little bit more of the piranha plants, a little more of the enemies, and a lot more platforming than you would early on in the game. Also, it's our first instance of the Hammer Bros. YouTube Man, a little sloppy, takes a death right there, trying to get back up top route. So he'll have to re-grab power-ups. jtknott coming through clean. 345, avoiding the fireworks.
Well done by JT. I was going to mention the stairs at the end of this level can be a little treacherous because there are 2 Koopas hanging out on the stairs, as you can see right here. So, and YouTube Man, the unfortunate recipient of a hit on the stairs. The hitboxes and the collision detection gets a little bit wonky on the stairs, and he was unfortunately a victim of that. But there are a couple fast ways to do the stairs when you have Fire Flower, but JT took it safe, and YouTube Man, of course, didn't have fire, so he tried to take it safe as well, and unfortunately got bit by the bit of wonky hitboxness that happens on the stairs there with enemies. So that's unfortunate there, and JT not taking about a half a level lead at this point with YouTube Man's death and then power-up loss.
All right, YouTube Man with a little bit of a tough power-up grab. He's through at 240. JT going through 3-3 with relative ease.
3-3, one of the most comfortable levels in the speedrun. We did see JT have to do a little turn back there, but probably won't lose him in the frame rule. It is a little bit lenient. And then you see YouTube Man jump through the platform there. That's just one of the interesting features. If you're a big Mario, you can jump through the platform there. But 3-4 is interesting because there are a lot of fire bars and potaboos. This is certainly a level where it helps to have the small Mario hitbox. And you'll see JT play it safe here. A lot of times, if runners haven't taken any hits, they'll know exactly the pattern you can expect from the potaboos and the fire bars, and they won't have to slow down. But since each of them have taken hits at this point, they're not on a frame rule or a time in the game where they're going to know what the pattern is, because the pattern is determined by what time in the game you get there. So they'll have to each play it a little bit safe. And we see YouTube Man take another hit and now plays the safe 3-4 and will make his way to Bowser, jumps over him, and finishes World 3, while JT is in 4-1. Spork, explain the difficulty of 4-1.
4-1, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it about a 9. It is one of the toughest levels in the game to get through. Of course, I'm totally kidding. 4-1 is your classic hold right and nothing bad will happen. Unfortunately for YouTube Man, having to re-grab power-ups does bring Lakitu into play, where he throws the Spinies, where it'll become more difficult. I'll be interested to see if he grabs the second power-up in 4-1 or if he waits till 4-2.
Well, he's fire now, so he's okay.
Oh, he is fire. I'm sorry. So 4-2, JT's taking the top route. We'll see which way YouTube Man will go, if he goes top route or bottom route.
If you guys are there in chat and you're Mario players, are you team top or team bottom route in 4-2? Let's see what you guys got.
Oh, team top all the way. Safety all day, brother.
Same here for me. I know other people are not, so I'm curious what we got in chat. What's the split?
All right, and YouTube Man, team top as well. 4-3 is going to be a nice little level, still back to the platforms on it, much similar to 1-3.
I think it's very interesting, the route JT takes on 4-3. I didn't even know that route was possible, but that's another advantage of being small Marios. You can take that route without having to do a duck jump or anything. Very cool route. I'll have to study that one for myself.
I want to see that. That's a very difficult route. Now, 4-4 is our first of our maze castles. So the game, 4-4 and 7-4 you'll see later on, there are certain paths that you have to take in this castle in order to advance to Bowser. Anywhere you take it wrong, it will reset your path and you have to start all over. Coming through, and beautiful job by jtknott.
YouTube Man had a little disconnection with OBS, but we will get him back on when his OBS cooperates. jtknott, meanwhile, will just have to focus on him. He is heading into World 5. World 5 is maybe one of the most difficult worlds in the game. 5-1 being the easiest of them, but 5-2, there's some difficult possible bullet bills, especially 5-3. You'll have a lot of random bullet bills when you don't know the time of the game pattern that you're on, and 5-4, a difficult castle level. JT playing a perfect 5-1. Now he heads into 5-2. We'll see if he risks the fast stairs here at the beginning.
So coming up through, takes the hop. It is easier with small Mario, so goes through beautifully through the first hammer bro. This second hammer bro is typically not an issue. And other than that, the rest of 5-2 is fairly straightforward.
Hopefully no commentators curse on that. Oh. And
good job,
he had to slow down, obviously, because of the beginning portion of the level where he played it a little bit safe. He was going to get a 6 on the timer. If you get the 346, so with the 6 being the ones digit, that would have given him 6 fireworks, which would cost him about 3.5 seconds. So he intentionally slowed down to avoid losing extra time.
All right, 5-3 coming through, bops the Goomba to spawn the platform. Due to a sprite overload in the game's memory, you have to bop that Goomba, otherwise that second platform won't load, and you cannot make the jump.
YouTubeman, meanwhile, is reconnected. Looks like his OBS is about 5 or 6 seconds, or his stream is about 5 or 6 seconds ahead, so we'll get them synced up once again in just a bit. But he is... So once we let JT play another 6 seconds or so, we'll see that JT is about 1 full level ahead.
All right, forward Bowser, nice and easy through 5-4. We will be able to talk about 5-4 a little bit with YouTubeman coming up. Personally, one of my least favorite castles in the game. It is one of the more difficult ones, in my opinion.
Definitely, and you'll see YouTubeman stops right here. This is a strategy developed by Roy LT. We call it... the Roy L. good bars, and that's to give you good fire bars so that you don't have to slow down even more and wait for the fire bars to get out of your way. So you do a little slowdown at the beginning, and that prevents you from doing a lot of big slowdowns at the end.
All right, great job through Bowser and through. JT making quick work at a 6-1. We get to see Lakitu again, but again, as long as you have fire, as long you can hold right, platform well, and it's a fairly easy level. 6-2, on the other hand, is a whole different beast.
6-2, one of the more difficult levels in the speedrun, especially for newer runners. And JT, again, taking another interesting route that I haven't seen used before with Big Fire, but doing very well. A lot of piranha plants you need to shoot out of the way. And then the stairs here at the end can be difficult as well. No problem for JT. Gets a perfect 342. That is optimal. You can get a 343, which will give you 3 fireworks, which would cost you about 1.5 seconds. So you do need to slow down a little bit to avoid a 3 on the timer there. And YouTubeman now entering 6-2. JT, meanwhile, going into 6-3. There are a couple routes you can take in 6-3 as well. JT choosing the bottom route, which is totally fine when you're small Mario. When you're big Mario, it's a little more difficult, but still very doable. There's just one really tight jump that you need to make where you have to crouch jump, and other than that, 6-3 isn't too difficult as far as the platforming goes. And now JT will head into 6-4.
Which 6-4, if it looks familiar, it definitely is. This is one of our revisits from 1-4, if I'm correct, Takate.
Yep. And you see YouTubeman taking the top route in 6-3, so that's what I was talking about. A couple different options. As Big Mario, I think that's certainly a wise decision. I might not be the most wise player because I still go the bottom route, but well done by JT going through 6-4. No problems there. He did a little hesitation there to get good fire bars, and easy peasy 6-4 once you get the good fire bars, because it is a repeat of 1-4. Now it's YouTubeman's turn. He's going to wait on that first Potaboo, wait here, and he should get good fire bars as well. Meanwhile, JT heads into the second to last world of the game, World 7. Maybe the second most difficult world, arguably with World 6 as well, but 6-1, I think, being so easy, probably makes 7 a little bit higher on the difficulty scale than 6 for me.
And 7-1 is definitely a difficult level if you get out of sync at any point. And now we're going into our second swim in 7-2, which is, again, more treacherous due to the increase in cheeps and bloopers.
Definitely, and especially the bloopers. You can get what's called the bad blooper at the very end of the level. So we'll have to see if JT gets the bad blooper. Having the small hitbox certainly helps in these swim levels because that just means, Mario is half the size of Big Mario, so much less likely that he will get hit by one of the enemies.
All right, so far a good swim. The one blooper to challenge, not too bad.
Oh, just avoids the cheap there. He's got the blooper at the end, and is not quite the bad blooper. It can be positioned a little further to the right when you spawn it there, and then you would have to do a couple dodge swims, but no problem for JT. Meanwhile, YouTube Man has the big Mario hitbox. He's going to have a difficult pattern here. Really nicely done to get through and shoot the bloopers there for YouTube Man. While JT heads into 7-3, which is a repeat of 2-3 with more cheeps and Koopas added in, red and green Koopas.
As tempting as those coins are, the coins are a lie. They will lead you right to the Koopas. Full speed will kill you.
YouTube Man takes the bad blooper hit.
Bad blooper.
Unfortunate.
All right, JT, perfect 240 into 7-3, goes into 7-4. Our second maze level. Unlike 4-4, where you have to go top, this one you're going to see him go bottom. What is tempting about this is it looks like you really want to go top. The good thing about the maze is if it looks like it's the more difficult path, it probably is.
Absolutely right. So you'll see him go into the middle here, then back up top. And perfect maze in 7-4 for JT. No looping. So that's exactly what you want. Nice fire kill on Bowser. And the reason we shoot Bowser with fire is because we obviously didn't talk about this in 1-4 with all the shenanigans going on there, but it's faster to kill Bowser than to just grab the axe and then wait for the bridge to collapse, wait for Bowser to fall in the lava, just fire kill him, and you don't have to wait for those animations.
All right, and it looks like YouTube Man is not going to be going for power-up in 7-3 or 7-4. I'm wondering if he's going to take power-up at all in World 8, or if he's going to go the any % route and just play it small.
I would guess he goes the any % route, but obviously just a guess. We'll see. I think he probably knows. I don't necessarily if he knows if he's behind. I don't know if he's watching JT or not, but I think he knows with a couple deaths there, or at least a death and a couple power-up losses, that he's probably behind. So I do think we'll see him take any % strats, but that remains to be seen. We'll watch.
All right. JT with 6 fireworks through 8-1. That's about the first slip-up he's had the whole run.
YouTube Man did go for that pipe jump, but he missed it. And gets the second pipe jump. So he is going any % strats as best he can.
All right. 8-2 is a short level, but can get very complicated very quickly if you get out of line at all in the middle of your run.
Absolutely right. 8-2 definitely could be one of the more difficult levels in the speedrun. But there is a really nice safe strategy, and it looks like JT is basically doing exactly that. It's called the Xerox BBBB strategy, which is essentially just a safe 8-2 strategy that works 99% of the time. And we saw JT employ it there and have a very nice safe 8-2. And so Xerox FBBB for Xerox Fiend, which is, we joke, that's his emote. So really nice strategy there. And now JT into 8-3 with fire. And that's a good thing to have because of the Hammer Bros here. They can be pretty dangerous if you don't, especially if you don't have fire.
All right, YouTube Man with a pretty clean 8-1 does not get the bullet, so we will not see a bullet bill glitch in this run, in this race.
And YouTube Man doing the fast 8-2, which is very commendable. I think, like I said, I think he probably knows he's has to, run the fast strategy there in 8-2. JT, though, in the 8-4, our final level, he is in a small fire state, so I think he should be pretty comfortable here. Let's see if he gets this wall jump.
Oh, missed it. Looked like he got caught up on the pipe there, getting into the setup with the.
He actually went for the 1-frame wall jump setup, so hitting the pipe there was intentional.
Okay.
But he ended up missing the 1-frame wall jump. So there are 2 different setups for the wall jump there. One will give you 1 frame to make the wall jump, and one will give you 2 frames to hit the A button to make the wall jump. And JT went for the 1-frame setup. He's in the
pipes and
final room. It touches the axe. A time of 19:32. Excellent race time for JT.
All right,
That's
YouTube
a very,
man
very good run.
YouTube man did get the wall jump on the pipe, going to turnaround. Ooh, tough setup. Has to wait for the plant.
Well done. Good dodges on the plant there. This is still a very good time for YouTube man. Unfortunately, with that death in 3-4, that set him behind. But outside of that, he's had a very, very, very good run.
All right, coming into the last room. Challenges. Woo! Ooh, gets by the low to boo.
Got some frame drops, but he finishes around 2018 or so. So a very nice race for both runners. We'll see if they are able to make it in for interviews, but two very good times. Get your GGs out in chat for both runners. jtknott, the victor, will move on to the next round, round 3 of the winner's bracket. He will face the winner of Supersonic, the 3 seed, and Stewie Cartman, the 30 seed. Stewie winning his first round match to get to play Supersonic. YouTube man will go into the second chance bracket where he will face the loser of that match between Supersonic and Stewie. So obviously with this being a double elimination tournament, these runners are not out yet, but jtknott does take this round 2 victory in a seed upset, a 19 over a 14 seed, for those of you keeping track in your bracket challenge.
All right, well, it looks like YouTube man is going to be unable to interview. Still waiting to see if JT will pop in, if he wants to say a couple words before we're done.
Yep, looks like JT will be able to do an interview. I think he will probably be in here shortly.
Well, while we're waiting for him, Tecate, takeaways from this race that we got to see tonight.
Well, I just the main takeaway is both of these runners are obviously incredibly talented, and JT with some really, really excellent play. He looked exceptionally strong, and I think just the fact that, like you said before, just a little bit before the race, he probably PB'd by a few frames. Didn't get a new second barrier, but at least he got a PB. I know he's had some really strong race results in practice races, so he could be a very difficult challenge for the winner of Supersonic and Stewie Cartman. Maybe a sleeper, given that he's just playing excellent Mario right now. Certainly YouTube man could create some havoc in the second chance bracket as well. What were your takeaways from this race, Spork?
I'm absolutely impressed with jtknott's ability with Small Fire and some of the routes that we both hadn't seen. I'm very impressed with YouTube man being able to just come back and stick with it and still put up a very good time. And joining us now is the winner of this race, jtknott. Congratulations on an excellent run.
Yeah, it looks like his mic is muted. JT, if you want to unmute your mic, we have you on air.
I have my mic on.
Oh, you got your mic on. I guess the volume's a little low on it. I could definitely hear the restream, though.
Well, yeah, so I was nervous all throughout. I could not believe that. That is my second best race.
Let's see, I'll message him here.
All right, hold on 1 second, JT, while we try to get this all set up on that.
Oh, the controls for boosting jtknott are busted, according to our admins in Speed Gaming. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get an interview. We'll give it another second or two to see if we can get things rightened out. But yep, absolutely. I think Spork, you were spot on with the interesting routes JT took, and I don't believe he lost power up after the initial issues there in 2-1. So a really clean race for JT. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. But do you recall him losing power up outside of 2-1?
I don't think he did, and I don't think he took a death the entire run. That was deathless too. So
yeah. So looks like we are maybe unable to get JT in here. His mic is still muted, so we'll probably forego the interview here. And yeah. So yeah, we're having some technical issues here, but I think we'll wrap it up here, Spork. Before we go on, YouTube man going down to the second chance bracket, jtknott. Do you think either of these players will make some havoc in the next round?
Absolutely. JT, after that race, I am blown away by just how hot he is right now. And with any tournament, what it boils down to is how good are you doing at the time? It doesn't matter what best time you had 2 years ago. If you're not running up to that level right now, you're not going to do good. And JT is proving that he is playing above where his PB is. And the same thing with YouTube, man. His stick-to-itness that he had through that run will definitely help him in the losers bracket face a little adversity getting through to that. So I think both players, we can see them go deep into the bracket.
Yeah, and we see YouTube man here in the comment section saying he's going to go try hard mode in second chance. I have no doubt he will pose a big threat in that bracket. But once again, get your GGs out for both runners. The next race we have on the schedule is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be between LK 431 and Mr. Cab 55. We've got Goofy Chocobo. We've got the bros, Goofy Chocobo and Supersonic on the mic for that race. You're not going to want to miss that. 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Speaking of knots, it sounds like we got jtknott's mic working. JT, are you there?
Well, I'm here.
Fantastic. Great to have you.
What up? I was nervous that whole time.
I can imagine.
I just went
walk through the race with us.
Okay. So I was talking to YouTube man, and he said he was going for 1-2. So I'm like, oh, gosh darn it. And so I went for 1-2. I got it. So I'm like, okay. 1-3, I lost a frame roll. And then 1-4, I got small fire. So I'm like, okay, this is good. I lost small fire in 2-1. I'm like, okay, this is where the run's gonna die. And then after that. And then after like 2-2, I just went like ultimate crazy. Like 6-2, I can't believe I got that. 7-2, I can't believe I had good. Did y'all see 7-3? What I did in 7-3?
7-3. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
It was definitely a different route than we've seen.
Okay, 7-3. Okay, so I was trying to. If you use small fire, you can snipe someone. You can snipe a fish from like that's like on top of you. And yeah, 4-3, not 7-3. 4-3. That's the small Mario strat. Like Cosmic used to use that strat when he did small Mario. But yeah, what I'm talking about is in 7-3, I was trying to shoot him, but when I shot him. When I tried to shoot him, I didn't shoot him, but I bounced off of him. So that was pretty cool. And then 7-4, what did I have? I had like a high 343. 8-1, I just missed the pipe in the third, and on the second pipe jump, and then I got a 6. I went for Xerox F BBB. I haven't done that in races in like a very long time, just because I'm like crazy, but I went for Xerox FBBB and it worked out. 8-3 was good. I went for 1 frame wall jump because I was looking at the race and I'm like, why not? And yeah.
All right, well, definitely a good race. I think that's gonna do it for us, JT. Any last comments? How you feel about your next matchup coming up between the winner of Stewie Cartman and Supersonic? What are your thoughts on that race coming up and who you're gonna face?
Well, I haven't raced Stewie Cartman, but yes, I have raced Stewie Cartman. I haven't raced Supersonic, and Supersonic is like has legend time. Doesn't he have like 3rd place?
Yes, he is.
Oh god. Well, if that happens, then I'm gonna be nervous. I'm gonna have to do better than this probably if I'm gonna do that.
All right,
at least I don't play like GTAs or Cosmic or someone. Then they would.
No, I'm the lucky one to get GTAs coming up next.
Dude, like
JT, again. Thank you so much for a wonderful race, JT. Good luck in the rest of your runs in this tournament. And with that, we're gonna do it. We've gone through what's going on. Catch us tomorrow at 9 p.m. for the next race between LK and Mr. Cab. As for now, we're going to sign off from here. I'm the Elder Sport with jtknott. Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Okay, see you guys. Cosmic Z.